Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an awesome day and thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. If you guys are new, my name is Victoria and today's video is actually going to be a roundup of my 5 best and my 5 worst luxury designer purchases ever. I've been watching a lot of these sort of 5 best and worst review videos on YouTube recently, and I've personally been really enjoying them just because it really helps me out to kind of like suss out if there's brand new products that I have my eye on or classic pieces that I really like and to figure out whether or not they're really worth their money. Everybody's been kind of giving their 2 cents and honesty as to whether or not they like stuff, even if it's like a super popular piece or they were gifted it. So I think it's great to kind of like add a little bit more to this discussion and to give some more opinions and facts or just like reviews of my own for some of the designer pieces that I've purchased and as to whether or not I think that they're a good or bad investment. Hopefully you guys don't have your eye on any of the pieces that I think are bad investments so that on your end you can save yourself quite a bit of money. But there are some amazing pieces in here that I really want to share with you guys and I'm so excited to share them with you just because I think that everybody needs to know about these ones and to pick them up whenever you can because sometimes you do really get what you spend your money on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with one of my best ever designer purchases and then swap it over to one of my worst designer purchases and go through all 5 back and forth this way to kind of give you like a nice little summary and so you guys won't get sick of hearing negatives for like 10 minutes straight. So first things first on the table is my all-time favorite handbag that I've ever purchased. Probably one of the cheapest handbags no, it's not the cheapest. It's a little bit more expensive, but my absolute favorite bag that I've ever purchased is my Gucci Soho disco bag. This thing has gotten me through so much. As much as I hate saying that this is my everyday casual throw-around bag because a lot of people give me a lot of like hate for that just as it is a little bit more expensive. It is a great everyday casual throw-around bag if you have the money for it. It is so well made. The zipper slides open so easily. I never have to worry about it and it's so spacious that I can fit so much inside of it. I've honestly fit water bottles in here, like small ones when I need to, and it's been great. I fit my travel vlogging camera as well and it has gone through so much and it has never shown really any wear and tear besides the fact that the body has lost a little bit of structure. I think this is probably my best bang for buck type of purchase that I have spent my money on when it comes to designer pieces. I've worn this so many times over the past like 2 years and I think when I purchased this it was around $1,100-ish. It's slightly a little bit more expensive now. It's up to $1,400 and it's a very highly sought after bag. So oftentimes the colors that you want are not necessarily always in stock, but I would highly recommend if you guys can get your hands on this bag, definitely do because it is such a great investment piece. It's going up in value every year and it's such like a sleek, minimal, classic design. Like who can not love a camera bag? Come on, a camera bag, it's classic. It's such a classic. So if you guys can get your hand on this, I highly recommend it. So moving on to another piece that I don't love so much, and this will not come to a surprise to a lot of you guys if you've already been watching a lot of my videos. It is my beige patent Chevron mini Chanel. Yeah, this one. You know what, I have a very love-hate relationship with this bag, but at the end of the day, I do think that it is probably one of my worst designer purchases because at the time of purchase, I did not know how to take care of this bag that well. Obviously, I appreciate it because it was a super expensive bag, but if you guys go back and watch my review video for this bag, then you'll know that I got quite a few marks on this bag, and since then, I've been really not inclined to take it out anymore. It has honestly just stayed in its dust bag, collecting dust on my shelf over the past like 1.5 years, and it pains me to say this because I really like this bag. I think it's beautiful. I just don't have the capacity in myself to take care of patent. So if I was to go back and tell myself that this would happen, I probably would have stopped myself from purchasing this bag, albeit it is probably going to stick around with me forever because it's the first Chanel piece that I ever purchased. And I do think it is such a beautiful, beautiful piece. It just pains me so much that I've stained it. And because patent is so difficult to take care of when it's a light color bag, I hate it. I detest it. But at the same time, I still really love this. If I was to advise you guys, probably don't get this color if you can get a hold of this bag. Get a darker one. That's one of my #1 regrets when it comes to bags, besides this and my other Chanel purchase. I have a very strong love-hate relationship with my Chanel purchases when it comes to the bags. It hurts me, but yeah, not a big fan, and this was not a smart move because it was very, very expensive. Moving on to my most loved designer piece, #2, and that is going to be my Gucci slides. These look really disgusting because I've worn the heck out of them, but I love these to death. So backstory to these is I actually got these about 2 years ago when I went to London. When I first tried them on, they were the most uncomfortable things ever. They hurt so much to put on. I almost want to go back and return them, but you can't really once you put on shoes because the bottom gets really wrecked up. But they were so uncomfortable to the point where I was starting to really regret this purchase. Fast forward a few days into my trip, I had to end up actually walking through rain with them, and that really hurt me because when I first got these, the leather on them was so smooth, and I was really afraid of getting it damaged in the rain. Luckily, because of the rain, it kind of helped to soften up the leather a little bit, and it really molded it towards my feet. And after that, literally, it became my favorite pair of shoes that I've owned to life when it comes to summer shoes. I like them because they're so easy to slide on and slide off. If I'm out and about and I'm trying on shoes when I'm shopping, I can just take them on so quickly. The only thing I don't really like about them is that because it's kind of a leather lining on the inside, it gets kind of smelly sometimes, so I like to air them out every once in a while. But they've broken in so well, and they are the comfiest shoes that I own to date for summertime. There's quite a bit of controversial opinion on these shoes because some people love them because they're so hyped up and because they're so comfy once you break them in, and then other people also hate them because of the massive hype and because they're pretty narrow. These shoes are definitely designed for people who have more narrow feet. I sometimes even find them a little bit tight to put on after a really hot day when I'm walking around inside the house. My feet kind of swell up a little bit and I put them on. They get really tight, but after a while they kind of loosen up a little bit. If you have the patience to break in these slides, they're gonna be your best friend and you're gonna love them forever. Plus they're like another classic design, so how can you say no to this? I can definitely see myself wearing this years and years over. And pro tip to you guys, because the sole actually is all leather, get them resoled at your local cobbler if you can. I go to a place on Bloor Street in Toronto called Caners. Every time I buy a designer pair of shoes, I always take them there right away just for them to put on a Vibram sole, just so that it really helps to maintain the integrity of all my shoes so that I can wear them into the ground, get the soles replaced, and never really have to worry about whether or not I'm actually damaging the shoes. So these are my go-to shoes, and I literally wear them at least twice a week throughout the summer, spring, even fall season. Also, sticking to the theme of shoes, for item number 2 that I really regret are these beautiful red Salvatore Ferragamo flats. How stunning are they? Unfortunately, I hate them. These were actually the first ever pair of designer shoes that I ever purchased. I can't even remember where I purchased them from. I think I got them at like either Saks Off Fifth or Nordstrom Rack when I was in the States one year with my parents. Once again, got them soled on the bottom to take care of the base. Turns out I didn't really need to even really sole these because I've barely worn them since I got them done. I got them in a red to really match the base. It's kind of cool. It's also red like the Louboutins. The reason I hate these shoes is because they're so dang uncomfortable. I have heard so many good things about Ferragamos online, but unfortunately these ones just didn't cut it for me. When I put them on, they rub into my foot all the way along the top here and all the way along the back. And literally within minutes, like I kid you not, under 5 minutes, my feet get blisters when I walk in these. And I'm not even joking, guys, these are the right size for me. I've tried them on, I've tried other pairs on, and I'm a true 5.5 to 6. These are size 6 and they feel like a full-on size 5. Like I can't even walk in them, but because they're one of my first designer shoe purchases ever, I have a hard time parting ways with them. I don't know why people find Ferragamo flats to be so comfortable. I'm in that minority where I don't. And ever since then, I've never even tried to purchase another pair just because these ones turned me off Ferragamo flats so much. I do want to mention though that the inside is extremely comfy, which is probably why people like them. It's super cushiony in here, and I don't have an issue with the sole, which usually is a problem for me when I wear designer shoes because a lot of them just have like a very simple basic leather plimsoll that's not cushioned or anything, whereas these Ferragamo ones are. It's just the overall structure and design of the frame of the shoe that really bothers me. And it pains me because I spent like almost 500 bucks on these and I can't wear them. They just sit in my closet collecting dust because I don't want to give them away. We're still in the realm of shoes, and a lot of times people ask me why I even bother investing in designer shoes is because I actually do have a lot of them that I truly love, such as these Gimashi boots. So I actually got these boots, I believe, last winter, partly in a collaboration with the website Forward. They gave me a gift card to redeem for a purchase from a collaboration that I did with them, and I used the gift card to get these shoes on discount. These are absolutely beautiful. I had my eye on these for so long before I purchased them. I even tried them on in store a few times in Saks just to make sure they really fit. I will have to say they're a little bit annoying to take on and off because it's a full buckle. There's 4 different buckles. I only need to really take off 3 of the buckles to put them on comfortably. There's no zipper anywhere or a stretch, but I think that gives the boot a very clean cut and sleek silhouette. The reason I love them is because they're actually surprisingly comfy to walk around in. There is not much of cushioning in the sole here. It's also leather on the inside. It's pretty flat, but for some reason, the way the sole is designed fits my feet perfectly and my arch perfectly, so I never feel that my feet are too tight or too flat, and I've walked around in the city in these shoes for hours and hours and felt perfectly fine in them. I can't say any more good things about these shoes. They're great. They are very pricey though, so definitely keep your eye out for them if you can when they go on sale to pick them up. Otherwise, I love them to death, and I would probably even consider purchasing this shoe in a bunch of other different variety, textures, and colors as well. It's such a classic silhouette, and it matches with so many different outfits that I wear during the winter time, whether I wear a dress or skinny jeans or leggings. It's just, it looks so good. I love it. And all the extra stud detailing just gives it that little added touch that I don't get out of all of my other regular black shoes. We're still staying in the realm of shoes, but this is the last one for the category of designer products that I purchased that I don't like. And these are my Louboutins. They look stunning, and I love the way they look and the color and everything. I actually got these at a really, really great price. They showed up in a Winners during their designer kind of like sale every year that they have. I think they have it twice a year, and they were priced down to almost, I believe, $500. This was the first pair of designer shoes that I purchased in Toronto when I got my very first big girl job. So this was kind of like a congratulations to myself, and it was kind of like a celebratory present because this is probably the most expensive thing that I had ever purchased since I moved to Toronto and getting my first real job here. So I wanted to get myself something really nice. I also wore these out to my first birthday that I celebrated here, and the sad part is I have not worn them more than twice since I purchased them, and I really regret them because they're so uncomfortable to wear. Once again, at the top here, these cut right into my feet, and also the band that goes around the ankle is not that comfortable. It looks comfortable because it's thick and it's gonna hold you in, but the edges of the leather here are really, really sharp, and it really cuts into your foot when you're walking around. Also, the heel height, I've learned to understand that although I can manage in heels, I don't like a super tall heel. So I always gravitate to something a little bit shorter than this. This is a little bit too tall for my liking. It's a beautiful, beautiful silhouette, and it looks so sexy. I just can't wear it, and it pains me because this is once again another pair of shoes that is sitting in my closet collecting dust. I may one day end up selling it just because it is still in such great condition. I also resold these ones after I wore them, so the soles are still pretty brand new, and they look pretty pristine. Like, there's no real markings on the inside of the shoe, and I still have the box and the dust bag and everything for it. So although I love them because they were my first big girl purchase when I got my first real job, I don't hold much sentimental value to them otherwise, and I'm happy to let go of them in order to make space for another pair of shoes. Last shoes in this whole video, I promise you guys, and it is the Valentino Rockstud in the kitten heel height. These shoes are absolutely amazing. Once again, a little pricey, but well worth the value. I don't think people talk about these shoes enough. These are honestly one of the most comfiest designer shoes I've ever purchased. Not just because it's in a kitten heel, but there's something about the Valentino like shoe and the sole and like a silhouette. It just fits my feet super comfortably. I've tried this similar design in the various heel heights as well, and I've always continuously found that they're extremely comfortable. Really want to share that with you guys in case you have your eye on these shoes. I paid almost full retail for these, I believe, when I was in Vancouver, and I have not regretted this purchase since. I don't wear them that often just because I don't go to formal events all the time, but when I do wear them, I can wear them for an entire day and not feel any pain at all. The only really issue that I have with them is that, once again, it's all straps. It's 3 different straps for you to buckle on your shoe with, and it's a little bit time consuming, and it's not that easy to take on and off, but if you have the patience to put on these shoes, they look absolutely beautiful. It's a really pretty silhouette, and all the cage detailing really helps to show off like a very beautiful slim foot. If you guys have a slim foot or you have a wider foot, it's not that big of an issue. I find that the cage area in the top of the foot here stretches pretty comfortably, and it does a really decent job of hiding most of your toe cleavage if you're not into that, just because the top part of here is much longer than other heels that I've worn before. But otherwise, I love it. The heel height is very comfortable, and I mainly purchased the kitten heel just because I knew I wanted something a little bit comfortable to wear, and I have nothing more but good things to say about the shoe. Run out, buy every single color if you can, every single style, every single height. I would if I had all the money in the world to do it because I love, love, love these heels to death. Second last one in the products that I hate. This is probably gonna come as a surprise for you guys because a lot of people really, really love this bag. Yes, we're going back to a bag. And unfortunately, this is gonna be the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the MM size in the Damier Ebene color. This is one of the first designer bags I really purchased for myself when I kind of started foraying into designer handbags. Like every girl out there, you're attracted to Louis Vuitton fairly affordable price. You're gonna get it. I fell in love with this. I'm not the biggest fan of the monochrome print, but I really love the checkered square print pattern, which is why I gravitated towards this one. At the time, I was really loving a more kind of like sleek, darker look, which is also why I went for the darker leather as opposed to the vachetta one. And I didn't want to have to spend my time patining the leather as well, and I didn't understand how to because I was so young at that time. So this is the one that I went with. Now, I know a lot of people truly love this bag because you can fit so much in it, and yes, I agree. I can fit my laptop. When I first had my job here, my big girl job, I bought this bag before that, getting that job. I use this every day to travel with my laptop, my lunch, my gym clothes, a water bottle, running shoes, like my makeup bag. A ton of things fit into this. And because of that, it ended up getting really, really heavy. Now, the problem with this bag is that the straps are not the best at mitigating weight. They're super, super thin, and if you put too much in this bag, it starts to get really heavy and it pulls down on your shoulders. Because there's no crossbody strap, when you wear this bag, it really presses and carves itself into your shoulders if you're carrying a lot. I didn't like that. As a work bag, I was carrying a lot every single day. I started getting a lot of back and shoulder pains in my arm. So after a while, I kind of just put this bag away, and I really haven't been using this bag at all in the past 4 years or so. Right now, it's sitting in my closet, once again collecting dust like some of the other pieces I showed you guys. And I truly just store a lot of dust bags and other bags like my Longchamp that I don't use anymore in this. I think I'm gonna make an effort to take this out a lot more and use this more as my travel bag when I'm going on more like short haul flights, such as like a weekend somewhere for a work trip as opposed to a week-long trip, just to really make use of it. But at the end of the day, I think I'm also gonna hold on to this bag because it has gone up so much in value since I first bought it. Back when I bought it about 5-6 years ago, I think this bag was retailing for around $1,100. Right now, you're not going to get this anywhere in Canada for under $1,400. So that is a great appreciation value to this bag, and because of that, I'm not going to let go of it. And I honestly haven't used it that much, so it's still fairly clean except for some dust here and there in the inside. I think over time, I'll either pass this down to my future children as like a vintage piece, or maybe if I really don't like it and I never foresee myself using this ever again, I'll just sell it for like a way better price than what I purchased it for. So we're capping this off at the very last ultimate favorite designer purchase ever, and it has to be my Prada Constellation bag. I love, love, love this bag, although I haven't used it that much recently. It is probably one of my other favorite designer handbags that I have in my collection, mainly because it's such like a beautiful art piece, and I feel like it's more of an accessory than just a purse, but because I can hold so much in it, it's still a very functional purse for me. I typically wear this purse when I'm going out to a more like formal, fancier event, or something that's a little bit more elevated than just casual, or if I wear like a very casual outfit during the day, I like to just throw this purse on to feel like I'm accessorizing without having to put too much effort into it. I spent a lot of time tracking down this bag, and I haven't seen a lot of people in Toronto with it, nor in any of my travels in Europe as well. So it's kind of special to me because I feel like it's very unique. I've seen people with the bag in the leather form with the constellations on it, but not that many people have the velvet one. And this is during the velvet craze before I decided whether or not I want to cave in and get a Gucci Marmont in velvet. So I'm happy that I got this one because it's very different and not too many people have it. And it has more or less kind of paid over its worth in use because I've used it so much since I purchased it. And we're finishing out this video with the very final designer purchase that I regret, and it is going to be this Alexander McQueen scarf. So way back when I still lived in Ottawa, I was absolutely obsessed with Instagram at that time before Instagram blew up. This was like probably 7-8 years ago, and I saw girls everywhere online wearing this Alexander McQueen scarf. I really, really wanted it. And it's a super expensive scarf. Like, it's not cheap for a silk scarf. It's around like $150 to $200, I think. And I could not purchase this anywhere in Ottawa because no one in Ottawa really carried it. We had a Holt Renfrew at the time. They never had the white and black that I wanted. We never had a Nordstrom there yet. There was no like Saks Off Fifth or Nordstrom Rack. So I had a hard time finding this. So when I saw that there was a girl on Facebook that I knew had a lot of designer purchases like bags, shoes, and stuff like that on Instagram, and I trusted her, I purchased this off of her when she no longer wanted it. I should have taken that as a hint that the scarf was no longer like super trendy and I should have avoided purchasing it. I only really had a few options to wear this scarf after I purchased it by the time I had enough money saved up. At the time, guys, I was working part-time as a lifeguard and I did not have that much money. Definitely did not have this disposable income to purchase designer products all the time, so I saved up long and hard, and I spent a long time thinking about this purchase before I made it. But by the time I purchased it, the phase for this scarf and its trend was kind of over and I missed its mark and I didn't really get a chance to wear it. I did wear it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it ended up getting boxed away back into its little dust bag and put into my closet, never to be worn again, and I find that really, really sad. But because it's one of my earlier designer purchases, I do have a hard time letting go of this one, along with all the other designer purchases that I regret that you guys see in this video. I just have an issue when it comes to purchasing expensive pieces. I kind of form an emotional or like personal attachment to them, and it makes it really difficult for me to give them up. So I don't foresee myself selling this anytime soon. I may just keep this in my collection and once again pass it down to my children in the future in case this ever comes back into popularity, because fashion, cyclical, you guys know. But yeah, I really do regret this purchase because I never really wear it, although it's not as expensive in the realm of all the other things that I've purchased, such as the Chanel handbag or the Louboutin or the Ferragamo shoes, but it is still pricey, and because I don't make use of it, it kind of pains me a little bit. You guys get the gist of it, right? Like, if you buy something, you don't use it, you're like, why the hell did I get that? Was it really worth it? No. So that's essentially it for my roundup of my 5 best and worst designer purchases. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed getting my thoughts. If you guys are thinking of getting any one of them, hopefully kind of helped you out to give you more insight as to why it would be a good or bad investment. I really enjoyed kind of like looking at all the pieces right now scattered in front of me. Like, I didn't realize I had this much stuff, but I really enjoyed kind of going through all of this, and it made me really think like which purchases are good, which ones aren't, especially for the future if I buy more shoes or more bags in the future. Oddly enough as it is, everything that I truly loved, like my 5 best ones, are all black. So maybe this is a sign to me that I should be purchasing more black things. Although, I mean, in the realm of things that I hated, a lot of the things are fairly neutral, except for the Ferragamo flats, which is like the only red piece that I have. Everything else was like gray, white, beige, and dark brown. So I don't know if that's really conclusive, but I should probably take that into consideration the next time I buy something, that I'll probably like it a lot more if it's black. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of it and if I should continue to do this sort of thing. If you guys would like to see more videos of this, of me recapping other purchases that I really enjoyed, or other purchases that I think that you should not get because I highly regret them, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Keep pushing you away while I want you to stay. Amazing gold is eyes, but my heart still beats when I say no, it's yes.